Welcome all of you in a series of lecture on coordination chemistry. This is a video number 5, and in previous 4 videos I have explained the basic definition, Werner's theory, Werner's experiment, double salt and the coordination compounds. In this 5th video we will learn IUPAC nomenclature of the coordination. IUPAC names are assigned to the coordination compound with the help of rules issued by IUPAC, that is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So the rule number 1, if a coordination compound complex ion is cation. So if you see in the coordination compound, the complex ion may be cationic in nature or anionic in nature. The first rule is related to the complex ion cationic in nature. Then we have to write down the name of complex ion, then space the name of ionically bonded anion to the complex ion. Okay, so we'll see the example. So we have example CONH36Cl3, CONH36Cl3. So if you see in this coordination compound CONH36 3 plus, this is the complex ion, and this complex ion has 3 plus charge, that is it is cation, while 3 chloride ions are ionically bonded. 3 chloride ions are ionically bonded with the complex ion. So rule says that in this case we have to write down the name of CONH36 3 plus and then the name of the chloride ions, that is negatively charged ions. Rule number 2, if in a coordination compound complex ion is anion, okay, complex ion is anion, then we have to write down name of ionically bonded cation to it first, okay, name of ionically bonded cation, then a space and then name of the complex ion. Okay, this is the situation. So we have example K3FeF6. So if you see K3FeF6, FeF6 3 minus, okay, FeF6 3 minus is the anion, and 3K plus ions, they are ionically bonded to the cation. FeF6 3 minus is the anion and 3K plus ion, they are ionically bonded to it. In this situation, we will write down the name of cation, that is potassium ion first, and then space followed by name of the negatively charged complex ion, name of the negatively charged complex ion. So remember very well one thing, in a coordination compound the complex ion may be cationic or complex ion may be anionic, and depending on this we have to decide the name of the complex ion is to be written first or is written later. So if you see now the naming of complex ion, so rule for naming of the complex ion. So in the naming of complex ion, ligands are listed first, okay, then the name of metal ion is written and the oxidation state is written in the parenthesis after the name of the ion. So name of the ligands, then name of the metal ion, and in the parenthesis the oxidation state of metal ion is written, and all this written as a single word, all this written as a single word. So how the names of the ligands. Okay, ligand have their specific names depending on the group or the atom. So we have the list here. So we have F minus labeled as fluoro, Cl minus chloro, Br minus bromo, R minus iodo, OH minus hydroxo, Cn minus cyano, SCN minus thiocyano, NCS minus thiocyanato, NO2 minus nitrito, NO nitrosyl, H plus hydrido. Okay, so all these are the monodent ligand, and depending on the name of anion, the name of the ligand is decided. So fluoride, fluoro, fluoride, fluoro. So the suffix IDE is replaced by O. Chloride, IDE replaced by O, chloro. Like this bromo, iodo. Now we have the thiocyanate, SCN minus thiocyano. Okay, thiocyano. While NCS, okay, nitrogen is the donor atom, isothiocyanato. So you have to remember this special case. Okay, remember this special case. If sulfur is donor atom, thiocyano. If nitrogen is donor atom, isothiocyanato. Then we have the another list. So we have ethylene diamine, NH2CH2CH2NH2, labeled as ethylene diamine. Acetyl acetone, okay, ACAC, labeled as it is. Oxalate anion, labeled as oxalato. Water, aqua, water, aquo. Ammonia, NH3, amine. Carbonate, carbonato. Carbon monoxide, carbonyl. NH2, amido. Thiosulfate, thiosulfato. Sulfate, sulfato. EDTA 2 minus, ethylene diamine tetraacetato. Ethylene diamine tetraacetato. So when we have to name the complex ion, we have to use these names of the ligand. Okay, we have to use these names of the ligand, and we have to mug it and remember it. Okay, mug it and remember it. Now rule number 4. The prefix is used before the name of ligand to indicate number of ligands of each type in the complex ion. So in a complex there may be one or more types of the same ligand, and how many ligands are present, they are indicated by the prefix before the name of the ligand. Before name of the ligand. So what are the prefix used? So we have the ligand is monodentate ligand. The prefix di for 2 ligands, tri for 3 ligands, tetra for 4 ligands, penta for 5 ligands, and hexa for 6 ligands are used. We have monodent ligand, and to indicate the number of ligand, we have the prefix di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa for the ligands 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we have an example. Suppose there are 2 chloride ion, so we will write down dichloro. 3 chloride ion, we will write down trichloro. 4 chloride ion, we will write down tetrachloro. 5 chloride ion, we will write down pentachloro. Hexachloride ion, we will write down hexachloro. So the prefix and the name of the ligand are used in the IUPAC name like this. Now ligand is the chelate type. Already you are familiar with what is meant by the chelate type of ligand. Then the prefix are different. Bis for 2 ligand, tris for 3 ligand, Tetrac is for 4 ligand, pentac is for 5 ligand, hexac is for 6 ligands. Okay, so if ligand is monodentate and ligand is chelate type, different types of prefix are used to indicate the number of ligand. Then in case of chelate ligand, the name of ligand is written in parentheses. So this is the another addition. In monodent ligand, the name of ligand is not written in the parentheses. But in case of chelate ligand, the name of the ligand is written in the parentheses. Okay. For example, we have the two ethylene diamine ligands. We will write down bis ethylene diamine. So bis and then in the parenthesis ethylene diamine. Suppose we have three ethylene diamine ligands. We will write down tris ethylene diamine. Tris and then in parenthesis name of the ligand, that is ethylene diamine. Then rule number 5. The ligand in a complex ion are listed in alphabetical order. Okay. So if there are two or more ligands in the coordination compound, then we have to use alphabetical order to write down the names of the ligand. For example, we have the COCl2NH34 plus. Okay. So this is the complex ion, the two ligands, chloride and ammonia. So alphabetically, ammonia is first, amine, okay, and then chloride, C, okay, chloride is later. So we'll write down tetraamine dichlorocobalt 2, okay. So alphabetical order is followed in writing the names of ligand. Okay, now we'll see the example. Okay, how to give rise IUPAC name. So very first example, K4FeCN6. So if you've seen the coordination compound 4K plus, these are the cation ionically bonded to the complex anion FeCN6 4 minus. So rule says that we must write down the name of potassium first. Okay, so complex ion is anionic, so we'll write down name of ionically bonded cation, that is potassium first. Then it will be followed by name of the complex ion. So if you see in the complex ion, there are 6 cyanide ligand. So for 6 cyanide ligand, we will write down hexacyano. Hexa for 6 and for cyanide ligand cyano. Hexacyano. What is the metal ion? Metal ion Fe2 plus is the central metal ion. Okay. So it is indicated as ferret 2. Okay. Iron is indicated as ferret 2. So if you taken all these together, what will be? Potassium. Okay. Ionically bonded cation. Then space. And then name of anion hexacyanoferret 2, and this is a single word. So potassium ferrocyanide, this is the common name, and IUPAC name of potassium ferrocyanide is potassium hexacyanoferret 2. Potassium hexacyanoferret 2. The second example, BaCuCl4. BaCuCl4. So Ba2 plus is the cation which is ionically bonded to the anionic complex ion CuCl4 2 minus. So what the rule says that? Rule says that we must write down the name of barium first. Okay, name of barium first. Then it will be followed by the space and the name of complex ion. Okay, so if you see CuCl4 2 minus, there are 4 chloride ligands. So we must write down tetrachloro. 4 cyanide ligands. Hence we must write down tetrachloro. Okay. So copper is the central metal ion to which chlorides are bonded. So for copper, the name is cuprate-2. Okay. Copper is indicated as cuprate-2. So if you taken all together, the name IUPAC name will be barium, then space tetrachlorocuprate-2. Okay, barium tetrachlorocuprate-2 is the IUPAC name of BaCuCl4 complex or coordination complex. The next example we have CONH34Cl2. CONH34Cl2. So if you see CONH34Cl2 is the anionic complex ion, cationic complex ion, and Cl minus, the anion is bonded to it. Okay, anion is ionically bonded to it. So in this case, what we will do, we will name the complex ion first. Okay, we will name the complex ion first. So if you see in the complex ion, okay, complex ion, there are 4 ammonia ligands and 2 chloride ligands. Okay, CONH34Cl2, 4 ammonia ligand and 2 chloride ligand. So alphabetically, amine first, chloro later. 4 ammonia, hence tetraamine, 2 chloro, hence dichloro. So the name of the ligands will be tetraamine dichloro. What is the central metal ion? Cobalt 3 is the central metal ion. Okay, and it is indicated as cobalt 3. Okay, it is indicated as cobalt 3. So overall IUPAC name will be tetraamine dichlorocobalt 3. This is the single word followed by the space and then chloride. Okay, so chloride is ionically bonded to the complex ion. Hence, between the name of complex ion and chloride, there is a space. One more example of similar type. NiEn twice Cl2. NiEn twice Cl2. So this is the neutral complex molecule. It is not cationic or anionic. So only complex molecule we have to label or we have to give rise name. So if you see, there are 2 ethylene diamine ligands and 2 chloride ligands. Okay, the complex has 2 ethylene diamine and 2 chloride ligands. Okay, so if you see, we'll write down dichloro bis ethylene diamine. Alphabetically, chloride first, ethylene diamine later. Okay, there are 2 chloride ions, hence dichloro. There are 2 ethylene diamine and ethylene diamine is bidentate ligand. So as it is bidentate, we have the bis, and as it is chelating ligand, the name of ethylene diamine is written in parenthesis. So remember very well, ethylene diamine is bident ligand. There are 2 ligands, hence we have the bis and the name of the ligand ethylene diamine in the parenthesis or in the bracket. Central metal ion is nickel 2. It is indicated as nickel 2. Okay. Therefore, we have the overall IUPAC name dichloro bis ethylene diamine nickel 2. Okay. It is the single word. Dichloro bis ethylene diamine nickel 2. It is the single word for the name of coordination compound NiEn twice Cl2. NiEn twice Cl2. Now, up till we have seen the examples where we have the simple type of the ligands are used. Now the next rule is for the bridge type of the ligands. Okay, bridge type of the ligand. What is meant by the bridge type of the ligand? The single ligand is bonded to the two metal ions. Okay, single ligand is bonded to the two metal ion, and such a ligand is called as a bridge ligand. And suffix mu is used to indicate bridge ligand in the complex ion. Okay, the suffix mu is used before the name of bridge ligand. This is the rule number 6. So we have example Cu, NH3 5 CO, NH2 CO, NH3 5, NO3 thrice 5. Okay, so if you see NH2 is written between two cobalt ions or the two cobalt metal ions. What it means that NH2 is bonded to both of the cobalt. That is NH2 is the bridge ligand. NH2 is the bridge ligand. Okay. So if you see the complex is cationic in nature and the 5 nitrate anions are ionically bonded to it. So what we will do? We'll write down the name of complex ion first, followed by the name of the nitrate, followed by the name of the nitrate. Okay. So the very first will be the bridge ligand. NH2 is the bridge ligand. Okay. So we will write down the first name of the bridge ligand by writing the letter mu. So NH2 is indicated, or the IUPAC name will be amido. So we will write down for bridge ligand mu amido. Okay, bridge ligand will be indicated as mu amido. Then if you see the complex ion is dimer. Okay, so hence prefix base is used. Okay, hence prefix base is used before the name of complex ion. So we have each monomer has 1 cobalt and 5 ammonia. So if you see this monomer, each monomer has here, you can see 5 ammonia and 1 cobalt. 5 ammonia and 1 cobalt. Okay. So the name of the complex ion will be written pentaamine cobalt 3. Okay, pentaamine cobalt 3. And before pentaamine cobalt 3, the prefix base will be attached. So what this base will indicate? Base will indicate there is dimer. Okay, where there is dimer. So if you see overall name will be mu amido base pentamine cobalt 3 nitrate. Okay, mu amido base pentamine cobalt 3 nitrate. So mu amido indicate that amido group NH2 group is bridge ligand. This base indicate that the pentamine cobalt 3 there is a dimer. There are 2 such a unit they exist in the coordination compound. So the next example for the IUPAC name of bridge type of ligand is Fe2CO9, and it can be written as CO3Fe, CO3Fe, CO3. So if you see the coordination compound, it is the neutral complex. It is the neutral complex. So at the center we have 3 carbon monoxide. Between 2 iron, 3 carbon monoxides are written, and they are the bridge ligands. They are the bridge ligands. So we have identified the bridge ligand. How we will write down the bridge ligand? We will write down the suffix mu before the name of the ligand. But now we must indicate the number of ligand also. So we will indicate the tri, okay, suffix tri before the name of carbonyl. So 3 bridge carbonyl ligands in the IUPAC name are indicated first as tri-mu-carbonyl. They are indicated first as tri-mu-carbonyl. Tri for 3 carbon monoxide ligand, mu for the bridge type of the ligand. Then if you see the complex is dimer. Complex is dimer. Okay. So as complex is dimer, we must use the word prefix before the name of monomer bis. Okay. Before the name of monomer, the prefix bis is used. So if you see the monomer consists of 1 iron and 3 carbonyl ligands. So name will be tricarbonyl iron 0. Iron in 0 oxidation state in the carbonyl. So the monomer will be labeled as tricarbonyl iron 0. So overall name will be tri-mu-carbonyl bis tricarbonyl iron 0. This will be the IUPAC name of Fe2CO9 coordination complex. In some cases, you can see the suffixes and trans. For what they are used? To designate geometrical isomers. They are used to designate geometrical isomers. So we have an example here. PTN twice Cl2 Cl2. So IUPAC name of this complex will be dichlorobis ethylene diamine platinum 4 chloride. Dichlorobis ethylene diamine platinum 4 chloride, and it may has 2 geometries. Okay, if you see in the first geometry, 2 chloride ions along the vertical axis and 2 ethylene diamine ligand occupy the square planar position. This is the trans isomer. Hence, before IUPAC name, the suffix trans is written. So, trans dichlorobis ethylene diamine platinum 4 chloride. So here suffix trans indicate that this geometrical isomer has the trans geometry. Then the second one, 2 chloride are adjacent. 1 chloride and 2 chloride. 2 chloride are the adjacent. Okay. So this is the cis isomer. So in the name we have the prefix cis. Okay. Cis. So cis dichlorobis ethylene diamine platinum 4 chloride. Okay. So in this video lecture, we have seen how to give IUPAC name, or how to label the IUPAC names to the. Okay, so these are the IUPAC rules to name the coordination compounds. In the next video, we will learn valence bond theory of the coordination compound. If you like this video, give likes and subscribe my channel, that is Chemistry Education.